Take just a second and ask yourself, what actually happens to your livelihood or your neighbors when artificial intelligence gets to the point where it can execute literally all cognitive and physical labor? Like, what do we do for income if algorithms and robotics are just cheaper and better than human beings at absolutely everything?
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. 1. The post-labor economic paradox. 2. History and shorter weeks. 3. The state-driven policy model. 4. The authentic human economy. And 5. Assets and intent setters.
Section 1. The post-labor economic paradox, the baseline collapse.
So, if we enter a fully automated economy, we literally have to rewrite our global economic engine from scratch. Walk with me through this logic flow, because it perfectly illustrates why standard capitalism just completely breaks down in a post-labor world. Step 1, humans lose jobs to AI, right? Step 2, no jobs means no income. Step 3, without income, people cannot buy the goods and services that the AI is so efficiently pumping out. Which leads to step 4, the entire market system just collapses. It's a massive paradox. Without human wages, the machine doesn't have any consumers. And that is exactly why experts agree that a workerless society demands entirely new frameworks for distributing wealth.
Moving on to Section 2, History and Shorter Weeks, looking back to see the future. Okay, before we totally panic about economic collapse, we need to remember that we've actually been here before. Technological disruption is not new. Back in the early 20th century, cars completely decimated horse-related jobs. Bad news for horses, sure, but it created massive new industries for mechanics, drivers, and auto manufacturers. Late 20th century, computers wiped out traditional typing pools but birthed a whole generation of software developers. And in the early 21st century, the internet disrupted brick-and-mortar retail, but it gave us e-commerce. The pattern here is clear. Tech destroys old jobs, absolutely, but it consistently creates totally new, previously unimaginable industries.
But what's really interesting here is the shift in how much we might actually need to work. Economists argue that if AI handles all the routine, mundane stuff, the resulting productivity boom might not fire us all. It might actually just give us our time back. We could legitimately see the 4-day workweek become a global standard, along with way more vacation time and significantly earlier retirements.
Which brings us to Section 3, the state-driven policy model, redistributing automated wealth. But what if AI doesn't just reduce our hours? What if it truly takes over the bulk of human employment? So the crucial point here is understanding Universal Basic Income, or UBI. This is a baseline, unconditional cash transfer given to every single citizen. Now, prominent tech leaders like Sam Altman have discussed this deeply. The working theory is that governments would levy an AI tax, like an automation dividend, on the massive corporations running these workerless systems. Then, they'd use that immense wealth to fund a basic income for everyone. You could still work if you wanted some extra cash, but your basic survival, that would be guaranteed by machine productivity.
Let's build on that with an even more expansive concept. We just talked about UBI, which is handing out cash, but policymakers are also heavily debating Universal Basic Services, or UBS. So instead of distributing money, the state leverages AI to make life's actual essentials virtually free. Just imagine AI-driven medical care, autonomous public transit, automated vertical farming, all driving the baseline cost of living down to near zero. You wouldn't even need a traditional income if everything you needed to survive was practically free.
Section 4, the authentic human economy, the made by humans premium.
We can't forget that humans are complex, emotional creatures. Think about the made by humans premium. Even today, we happily pay extra for organic food or a hand-carved coffee table, even though a factory can pump out a flawless, cheaper alternative. The authentic economy suggests that future consumers will pay top dollar for the intrinsic flaws, the soul, and the unique backstory behind human-created art, writing, and artisanal goods. We just crave authenticity.
And you can really see that craving reflected in the roles that are predicted to skyrocket in value. Think about caregivers, therapists, artisans, spiritual coaches, local community leaders, elite hospitality. These are high-trust professions totally grounded in interpersonal connection and empathy. Humans just naturally prefer human companionship over an algorithmic simulation. Honestly, no matter how advanced it gets, our ability to genuinely connect is an economic asset that AI simply cannot replicate. Finally, Section 5, Assets and Intent Setters, the new capital ownership.
This brings us to what economists see as probably the most radical paradigm shift in a post-labor economy, and that is the movement away from selling your time toward owning capital. See, for centuries, our primary question has been, how do I earn a salary? But if AI makes production extremely cheap, human labor is no longer the main engine of wealth. So the new question becomes, what assets do I own? Capital ownership is going to matter far, far more than traditional employment.
So what exactly does ownership look like for the average person? Well, it's likely going to be a mix of microequity and decentralized systems. You might own fractional shares in an AI cooperative, or you might own a personal AI agent, or even a local 3D printing hub that you lease out to digital networks while you literally sleep. By owning the automated systems themselves, individuals could generate a continuous stream of passive revenue without performing traditional labor.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate division of labor in our future. AI is exceptionally good at the how, optimizing the execution of tasks. But humans, we own the what. We are the intent setters. And AI can figure out exactly how to build a bridge perfectly, but humans still have to decide if we even want a bridge there in the first place.
Let me read this quote directly from the source material, because it is just a phenomenal summary of our future role. Humans would earn income by acting as directors, ethical curators, and strategic visionaries who decide where societal resources should be pointed next. We transition from being the workers of the world to the visionaries of the world. We become the ethical supervisors guiding the machines.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final, provocative thought to chew on. When you no longer have to spend 40 hours a week executing tasks because AI is handling it all, what goals will you set? What are you going to choose to direct your energy toward when your time is finally truly your own? It's a fascinating future to prepare for. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.